Hey y'all, it's time for some damn good content. I'm Shelby Clement, your host and business bestie. I'm a content creator, social media manager and coach, keynote speaker, wife, and a mama of two who ditched her 9-to-5 to build a thriving multi-six-figure business solely using social media. Just like you, I'm a working mom and a wife with limited time. So I'm committed to cutting the fluff and delivering tips and fresh ideas straight to your earbuds on how you too can harness damn good content and create that type of business that you love and are proud of. Each week, we'll deep dive into strategy and mindset of building your brand on social media so that your confidence and success in the online space can skyrocket. Get ready to step outside of your comfort zone and start creating some damn good content. Are you ready? Let's freaking get it. Hey guys, welcome back to Damn Good Content Podcast. I have my best gal pal from Cali. She She flew all the way in just to do this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Meghan Bow with me. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be here.
How tired on a scale 1 to 10?
You know, I'm not feeling tired right now. I think it'll kind of kick in later, but it's good. I've just got,
a big coffee.
Caffeine.
You literally sucked that sucker down.
Oh, I drink coffee all day long. I try and stop by like noon, but I can drink coffee.
Why do you try to stop by noon?
So I can go to sleep at night.
I don't feel like it even affects me anymore.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does either, but it's just like a good stop. Maybe like one or so. But yeah, I suck down the coffee all day long.
I drove to New Orleans this morning to get her.
She
flew in. She took a red eye just for the podcast to talk to me and because she missed me.
I love Shelby.
I'm kidding. She has a conference tomorrow, right?
Yep. Yes, a trade show.
So let's back up because we kind of jumped feet first, however they say it. Tell everybody a little bit of what you do, who you are, and then we can kind of go into how we met. Because really, it's just like, I feel like I've known you forever.
I know. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
When you really meet someone in person. And this is actually the second time we've met.
Yes.
And we've known each other for 2.5 years.
Yes.
So my name is Meghan Boehm, and I started a jewelry business in 2015. I had always been interested in making jewelry. I did it as a kid, a hobby. And I was working from home at the time, part-time, had 2 little kids. And I started getting into jewelry again. So I started making it. Long story short, I started making it for my friends, giving it away. Then people wanted to buy it. And so I opened up a little Etsy store and it kind of took off from there. And now we're here. So now I do it full time. It's been, I think, since 2018 that I've been doing jewelry full time. So I'm here in New Orleans for a trade show this week.
And I'm so excited. She actually invited me to join her. I'm so pumped.
Oh my gosh, yes. I kind of forgot.
You're like, crap, is she coming?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. So, before I didn't know this, like, where did you do before this?
So I, after college, went into recruiting. So I worked for some big companies as kind of a tech recruiter. I just kind of stayed in that area. And then the last 10 years before I started doing jewelry full time, I worked for an IT company doing, tech IT recruiting.
Nice.
Yeah, just,
different. Do you love the fact that you went out on your own and now you're an entrepreneur?
Yes. And I never thought that would have been, that was like never an option. That was never, like, people would say, oh, is this, like, when I started kind of doing it on the side, is this what you want to do long term? And I'm like, yeah, but that's not going to happen. It's just for fun. It's just like a little side thing, and then kind of exploded and went from there. So yes, I feel very blessed that this is my path.
I love it for you because what was the turning point that you realized like, okay, you did say you started in 2015 and then you took it full time in 2018, correct?
Yep.
What was that turning point where you were like, holy crap, like I can actually do this?
Yeah. So, in 2015, started out selling to like friends after I had given away like everything that I was making as gifts. Some people wanted to start buying it. So I kind of started selling to people in my hometown, and then on Etsy, and Etsy started kind of taking off. And then, I did a, pop-up, and, after I did a pop-up in, about 45 minutes away from, where I live, I had a big, at the time they weren't big, a company, a clothing company reach out to me to do wholesale with them. So my first wholesale client, I had no idea what I was doing. I had to like Google how to wholesale, how to price, all that stuff, how to package, on my own. My mom helped me. We totally learned as we went. So they reached out to me to start doing wholesale for them. Started out small, like, a few different styles with a few dozen of each.
Yeah.
And then they grew and grew and grew and grew and kept growing. And I grew with them. So I was working part-time as a recruiter. I was having this other part-time, essentially, business on the side, but it was turning into a full-time. And it was surpassing my salary at my corporate job. But it was still I had that feeling of like, I can't do this. I can't be responsible for my own income. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I probably would have never left.
Right.
It was kind of like the golden handcuffs. It was a job I had been at for a really long time. They were great. They were flexible. It was part-time, so I could do both. And then in 2018, I got a new boss and they wanted the whole team to go full-time. And I couldn't because I was so busy with the jewelry stuff. And so I said, okay, let's kind of see what happens. And I got laid off, and it was the best thing that ever happened. Because I would have never done it on my own.
Because it was kind of like a forced, like
it was
they
forced.
kind of forced your hand.
And I am not a risk taker. Like, I'm like, I get really nervous about that kind of stuff. So it was great. It was a good thing.
Well, I feel like that's a lot of things with entrepreneurship. And you
Yeah.
said like one really key point just now is like you didn't know what the hell you were doing
Yeah.
when you started. You just figured it out.
Yeah.
So when people say they want to do stuff, I mean, like in business, truly, I don't care how long you do it, you still are trying to figure out how to do business. Because
every day.
You're hitting a new threshold. You're like, is this right? Is this wrong? But there's really no way. Like, I guess, how did you overcome that? Or did you just like put your head down and were like, I got to figure it out?
Yeah, got to figure it out. I just said yes to everything and thought, I'll figure it out later. Figure out how to do it. Like, and just kept that kind of mentality. And I was so excited about it and passionate about it that I think that helped and inspired me and got me excited, which I'd never been excited about work before. Work was always like, it's a good job. And like, I can hang out with my kids and pick them up from school, take them to school and still have a salary. And, I like talking to people. So it was a good job. But, to this day, there's stuff that comes up every day and I'm like, I got to figure that one out.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought up your kids just now. I want to touch on this too. How old were your kids when you decided to take that leap of faith? Because it's one thing to take that risk when you don't have children.
Right.
But it's another thing to take that risk, especially when you have children, because now you're providing for other tiny humans that you got to keep alive.
Yeah.
So how old were they when you did this?
So when I started selling on Etsy, they were what was probably like 2014. So I had a 2 and a 1-year-old. And they're 10 and 12 now. Is that right? No. Yeah. Something like that. Anyways.
It's too early for the math. And it's
I was on a red eye, no sleep. Anyways, so they were little, but I still had my like safety net of my corporate job and my husband's job to help. So that helped have that and kind of build up, savings too with the money I was making with jewelry. I was able to save a lot of it so that when I did go off on my own and wasn't working in this corporate job, I like felt like, okay, if it doesn't work, I still have the savings that I've saved. So
what would be your advice for someone that is wanting to go into entrepreneurship? Obviously, you're not a risk taker. So let's go on that sense because there are people that are listening to this that aren't. But like managing the mom lifestyle, because as an entrepreneur, it's very different than as a corporate person.
Yeah.
Like it turns off. But when you own your own business, it doesn't turn off.
No.
So what's your advice for managing all that?
I would try, and whenever they were at preschool, and now that they're in elementary and middle school, when they're at school, it is when I work. When they get out of school, I am home with them, picking them up, or meeting them at our house, and being there. And I try and turn kind of work off until or kind of work in between their schedules when that's going on. And then once they're kind of, they're older now, so they're going to bed later, which sucks. No.
It's a true statement, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. So now that they're going to bed later, it's harder, but I try not to bring work home as much, but I will do emails and, sometimes I still make jewelry at home. I'll bead or whatever if I have a big project going on.
Yeah.
So I really try and be present when they're home. And that they see that I'm home, even if they're doing their own thing, like playing in the backyard or jumping on the trampoline, whatever. I'll try and get in some emails or do it then. So it's a tough balance, but they've always been my first priority. And, the period of time that they want you around is so short.
Yes.
And that they're going to be around. So I'm really trying to kind of like utilize that as much as I can.
Have they ever helped you make jewelry?
Yeah, but they're real slow.
On the way here, we were talking about how we wish people can go as fast as we can do things. But
no one will ever work as hard on your business, on your own business as like you will. Yeah. And I've been lucky and fortunate enough to find people that work with me that are just as great, but it's hard and it's different. And I get it because
it's not their dream.
It's not their dream. Yeah, exactly.
And so we have to do what we have to do at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has your husband ever had to make jewelry?
Oh gosh. I mean, he's never made jewelry. He's helped me like bag it and package it, but he's also kind of slow.
You know what? Bye. If you're slow, do not call her.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
like, hurry up. He's like, I'm free. He always wants me to pay him. I'm like, no, I'm not paying you.
I'll cook you dinner.
Yeah. Every night. Yeah.
I'm dead. On the way here, we were just chit-chatting about being moms, obviously. And like, I think we literally flew right over this. Did you tell everybody where you're even from?
Oh, I'm from Sonoma, California.
Okay, yeah.
No, I did not. Yes.
So we were talking about being moms and we haven't met. Like we worked together right when I started. We met through a mutual friend or a mutual colleague.
I heard you on a podcast.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Yeah. And I'm like, gotta call her. Love her. I could tell like your personality came through my speakers and I was like, oh, I love her and I need her help.
You need her. So we did work with you.
Yep.
Taught her how to do some reels and her business is basically just, were already taken off and now you hit that threshold. I think you just got what, 11K, 12K?
12. Yeah.
12.
Little 12. I'm almost, I think 12.4.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I don't get a ton of followers and that's, I mean, the goal is, I would like to have a lot of followers, but you also want, it's not to have hundreds of thousands. I want people that want to be there and want to interact and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, it's been real slow. I mean, it took almost 2015 and this is all organic. So 8 years.
Yeah. To get this.
And this is, exactly. And I don't do like a lot of, follow me, tag or whatever, which I probably should, but, so it's all kind of organic and word of mouth or, doing podcasts and. Yeah.
I think that too, sometimes giveaways are good. I don't hate them. I don't love them because in all reality, if you think about it like this, like you are asking for a follower just for a giveaway. They're getting something out of it. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually want to follow you and they're going to buy from you. So ultimately, it's really just going to screw up your analytics because they're not going to engage with your shit.
Or they're going to join and then leave. Yeah.
So like you might get an influx for a minute and then it sucks.
Yeah.
But we started working together and we immediately clicked. We met each other this past year. So we've seen each other twice this year.
That?
February.
I was thinking it was like 9 months ago.
Yeah. So I went to Napa with one of my best gal pals for her wedding. And I was like, oh my God, what if we did permanent jewelry? And it was amazing.
It was so fun.
And like when you walked in, I was like, I know her.
I know. It was weird. It was like, haven't we met already?
But we haven't. We haven't.
Yeah.
So it's been, I love when you meet people like that because when I picked you up this morning, we just talked like real shit. Like, kids, the annoying husband aspect of it, business, life. And I'm like, are you excited to be on the podcast? And you're like,
I would do anything for you. And I'm excited. And I mean, just to hang out is so fun.
And she brought me some beautiful jewelry. I have an awesome necklace and some earrings. I love your stuff. I'm pretty sure this is yours too.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm basically wearing her stuff today.
I love it. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Let's talk about business. Let's talk about overcoming maybe some obstacles that you've encountered in the last few years that you've been in business, and how did you overcome that? How has mindset been such a big practice for you, I guess, when you are an entrepreneur? I
Yeah.
mean, let's deep dive into that.
So yeah, I've had some pretty big obstacles, I would say, in the last year. Two major accounts that I was working with that were my primary wholesale accounts. So I sell direct to consumer. I have a website, and then I also sell wholesale. I have never done proactive sales at all. So all of my business has just wholesale, especially like boutiques and, stores, things like that. They've all come to me and I've set them up as wholesalers. So in the last year, I was working with a department store for 3 or 4 years, and in another store, and things internally changed with them, and so business slowed down a little bit. And I really had to think like, okay, now it's time to like be proactive and, start thinking about different avenues, and how to get my jewelry in front of more people, on the wholesale side. So I started doing more trade shows this year, or trade shows at all. I started in October, and I've done, let's see, I think this one tomorrow will be maybe my 6th one, and it's been great. So I've gotten, I'm in now over 100 and maybe 20 different stores, resorts, spas,
Nice.
hotels. Yeah. So it's good. It definitely, the momentum is picking up, and I like it. I mean, I get to travel a little bit, but not too much.
Mhm.
And so that was probably my biggest obstacle, is really finding a different avenue to like take the place of the income that I was losing from these other accounts that had changed a little bit. So yeah, so that was probably my biggest one.
And how did you deal? Like, what happened in that moment when you got things changed? I guess what I
I
would
was like, oh shit.
like. I guess it's time
Yeah.
to work.
Ugh.
I'm kidding.
I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I
Yeah.
work with a business coach, and she always says, she was like, what we love most about working with you is like, something happens, you don't like wallow in it and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? You're just like, all right, well, let's go. Let's do this. Okay. I'll try this. Sure. So I'm really willing to try anything. So when I started doing trade shows, that was overwhelming for me because some of them are huge. There's other smaller ones. So I started kind of going that route, and it's worked out really well. I'm doing kind of smaller trade shows, not these ones where there's like thousands and thousands of people in a huge convention center. And that doesn't really fit my personality either. I
Yeah.
really like connecting with people,
Yep.
and I like knowing who I'm working with and forming a relationship. I mean, so most of these people that are accounts now I've met in person. And then we kind of, obviously being where we're located in different states, most of our communication is email and phone, but I formed a lot of good relationships that way too. So yeah.
And so basically what you're saying is relationships are the forefront of your business.
Yeah.
And so I think what a lot of times, I'm going to drive it back to social, because a while ago you said something really great. You were like, I love having the following. I love my following growing, but that doesn't ultimately mean anything if you don't have the relationships.
Yeah.
And a lot of time with social media, what people want is that vanity number or vanity
Yeah.
metric.
Right.
That we were literally having this conversation on the way here. And you were like, just because you have a following on social or just because they see you on social does not mean shit.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing if you don't have the community, if you don't have the base, if you don't have people already buying from you. You could have 300 followers and make 1 million plus.
Yeah.
You want those people to be very loyal.
Yeah.
So what have you learned over the years, especially with that? Because like social media is definitely a mind game to the point of like, I really do want that number, but at the same time, kind of balancing it out with the whole, but I'd rather that relationship build.
It's hard, and I do, I try really hard on social media. I mean, like to be present daily, but it hasn't been super comfortable for me. It took
Right.
a long time,
Mhm.
to get me in front of a camera. Like I didn't want to show my face. I wanted someone else to do the videos and, all the other stuff, because that's awkward for me. That's not where I belong. That's
Right.
how I feel. So I had to get over that. Because people want to know you. They don't want to see some random face and not, like they could see someone that works with me or for me, but I don't know. It's just a little bit different. So I just had to get over it. I got over it, and I thought, whatever. If They don't like it, and it's cringy, as my kids say. They say I'm cringy.
Well, that's your
All my videos are cringy, which is fine. I'm like, well, you're not buying jewelry, so you don't need to. You don't need to like it. I just do it, and I'm like, whatever. If someone doesn't like it, they can click on through. I also, I'm not really good at sharing like a lot of because I'm not an influencer. I don't share a lot of like personal stuff because I'm like, who wants to see my messy house or what I got from Amazon? I mean, it's not that cool. But I try and incorporate some things in there so people kind of get a better idea of like who I am behind the jewelry. I've got 2 kids, normal home. We've got animals. I've got a chaotic life, and so I try and incorporate a little bit of that in there too. And I think people really like that, but I do have a hard time kind of balancing out like, are people going to think, why is she posting about this? I just want to see jewelry. So trying to figure that out is hard.
Well, I think they want. So one of my friends, Jera, she talks about secret sauce a lot, and so like there's times where like when you let people in on like certain things. Like the other day, for example, I had fruit flies literally swarming my freaking kitchen. I'm like, this is disgusting. My house is not disgusting. It's just we grew a lot of vegetables that we didn't eat in time, apparently. And literally my DMs blew up because I was like, please help me. I mean, I could Google. Yeah. But like when you start interacting with your community and asking for answers back, they do that. And then someone DM'd me this week and they were like, oh, this made me think of you. And it was like, if you have old wine corks and you cut them in half and you put them in your fruit and your vegetables, something with the cork.
What? Like in the bowl?
In the bowl that sits in with like your fruit and vegetables. Oh. Point of the story is that I gave them that little bit of like in my kitchen, I'm struggling with this. And so now they're like, oh, I thought about you when I see this. Yeah. And so like you want to start building that perception that other people have of you for them. Right. But like you said, I don't want to share too much, but on the way here you go, you should share how y'all are living in your house right now. And I'm like, no, that's a solid no.
I know, it's so much easier to say it than do it,
but
right?
I feel like you would be like, holy crap. Yeah. Your kid's bedroom is in your living room.
But I would love to see that because I've slept in my living room when we were doing a remodel. And it would
have connected us even more, wouldn't it?
Yes. So I know. But it's sometimes, it's hard.
I mean, there's some stuff that you share that people are like, why did they share that? Because that's dumb and that's too personal and I really don't give a shit. Yeah. But then you get to choose like what you share. Because a lot of times when I tell people to get personal, they like tell me in my DMs like, what do you mean I have kids or I do this or I do this? I'm like, okay, you make the rules of how personal. Right. And if you think about it, unless you and I have like a real good conversation, you probably wouldn't have known what my kids' names were. Right. If they go to school, where they go to school, where we even live. Like I show my house, but I don't show the front of my house. Like there's certain things that you can show your followers. Right. That make them connect with you. Yeah. Like I'm going through a renovation. I didn't think people would actually want to see that, but people are asking, oh, what floor did you pick? What white are you picking?
Yes.
I mean, there were
so many whites.
And so like all of these like little bitty like things that you can show. And I love that how you said a while ago, like your kids thought you were cringy. People will obviously think you're cringy, but there was a quote I heard the other day is that, I don't even remember who it's from. I actually put it on Threads. Oh, let's talk about Threads next.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about it.
But wait, somebody put on, I've read it somewhere, so I put it on Threads. I was like, people actually aren't as consumed with your life as you think they are, and they're not judging you as much because they're so consumed with themselves. Yeah. You will have people that judge you, and that's okay. Like I tell everyone, there's an unfollow button. So just unfollow me.
Yeah. And like, I've gotten over that, you know,
and it takes a while.
And I'm not worried. I'm more like, what I get embarrassed about or self-conscious about is like more people I know. I don't care about the people I don't know that see me and think I'm cringy because I'll never know that they think I'm cringy, right? But it's more of like, oh God. And then I just had to get over it. But it is what it is.
Fun fact is though, how long have I been doing this? And my face is all over and I'm pretty sure Jonah is going to laugh out loud when he hears me say this out loud. But I get cringy on camera. And when people in my real life say, oh my God, I've seen you on social. You're doing great. Like my family, I freak out. Yeah. And they're like, so what do you do? Like explain it to me. I'm like, social media. Like I literally yesterday we went to a family function and someone asked me. I can't
really see you ever being at a loss for words. Yes, so I don't know if I believe that.
1000%. He was like, how do you help people? I'm like, he goes, do you do consulting? I was like, yeah, I do consulting and we help managers and thing. And if you need anybody to help you, just let me know. And I walked out the door. I was like, I swear to God.
Maybe you just didn't want them as a client.
No, it was more so I get embarrassed in front of like the people that know me because I feel like my Instagram following or the people that engage with me on Instagram and that engage with me on TikTok or any social media platform is, yes, my family's like, oh my God, you're amazing. And they share my stuff and I see that mainly on Facebook, but anybody else, it's like strangers that I've never really met.
Yeah.
And so to me, I'm just like when people talk to me about it in real life, I'm just like,
I know.
But I also struggle to toot my own horn. Like I'm learning to do that better now. Because if you don't, nobody else will, that whatever that saying is. And so like I'm trying to, but I hate that too. Because I'm like, thank you.
Yes, it's uncomfortable.
Okay, now deep diving into Threads.
Oh.
Have you tried it?
No, I haven't Googled it. I haven't looked at it. I haven't downloaded it. No, I cannot take one more platform.
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you this.
I heard it's like a big. This is how someone described it yesterday, and I was like, hell no. That it is just a big group text message, and I hate group text messages.
Well, I feel like you're almost like kind of like my sister in the sense of answering text messages. Are you bad at answering text messages?
No, I'm good at it.
Are you?
Yeah.
Sometimes we're not on the same wavelength then, or maybe I'm bad at it.
I'm usually, but during the workday, like if someone texts me, my phone, like my husband will be like, "Did you get my text?" He'll call me, and I'm like, "No, I don't pick up my phone at work unless it rings."
So then it's us.
Yeah, because I'm like a head down. Well, I don't like talking on the phone though.
Shit,
I'm actually better text message me. I just might not.
Well, then you would like Threads. I'm so confused. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, I don't know what it is.
It's literally Twitter. You know
I don't use Twitter.
War that me either. But Elon Musk and freaking Zuckerberg, they're like hate each other and they want to fight. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Well, Instagram made a Threads, which is a Twitter.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But they've made it interactive, so like you could literally it transfers all of your Instagram bio, picture, all of it to Threads for you. And then if you put a thread up, it'll share it back to Instagram if you want to.
What if you do a thread? Will it put it on Instagram?
You can choose to put it on Instagram.
But a thread is just words, no pictures.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Okay, sure.
Podcasting.
So then will it come up as a post on your Instagram?
If you put it on there. Like you have to share it. Like I shared one this morning.
But like
so Threads, it looks like this.
What am I going to
show the camera too? Because it's weird. Okay. Like this. Like it literally is just Twitter. It literally is this. And okay, let me rephrase.
Okay.
I had to learn it because obviously my job. Because like every social media manager is like, we're gonna wake up to emails like from clients saying, should I get on Threads? Like, no, chill. Because Threads right now, anybody that talks business on it gets like bashed. Like there's people that are like, this is your marketing strategy for Threads. Because I remember like when it first launched, I got on the wait list or whatever, because you had to get a wait list and then you got like forced in. But then I was still like 2 million on the app. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And so did it. And so like I remember one of my threads was like, I am like really enjoying that people are just, it's like they're throwing shit against the wall and just hoping it sticks. Literally was what I wrote. Because no one knows. And then I was like, I can't wait for that next social media guru to come out and say, this is how you get 10,000 followers overnight from Threads. And so like people were putting that stuff on Threads like, hey, this is our marketing strategy. And people were like, we're not ready for that yet. So like when I explain Threads, it's kind of a waste of your time. If you really want to grow, it's good because it's really new right now.
Yeah.
And like there's people there. So like you get an influx of followers quickly and people will interact with you, but no one there, or at least the algorithm. I haven't figured that part out yet. So basically it's still throwing shit against a wall.
So like what will you write on there?
I just write my thoughts.
Like, oh, I'm tired and I need to go get coffee.
Yes. Or last night I wrote, I'm writing a script for something I'm launching soon. What are y'all doing on Saturday? Like it was random shit.
And people respond. People
responded. Yesterday I said, I'm about to be motivational. Get ready. And people were like, don't spit it. And then I was like, I'm tired. I can't anymore. So it's just like lighthearted.
Hanging the carrot.
Literally.
Dangling.
It's literally.
Dangling the carrot, you know.
It's just fun and lighthearted to the point where it's not like, oh my God, what strategy do I have to post on Instagram for it to work?
Right.
And like,
right.
Just another platform. Okay. But they already have over like 10 million subscribers.
I mean, I just don't know how
you
much
don't need
more
it.
I
don't feel like you need it unless you just want to secure your name. I would just do it and just create it and just secure it and then leave it.
One more app on my phone.
My sister literally wrote her first thread as, Shelby, this isn't going to work for me because she's terrible at texting.
Yeah.
Like, she'll text you back in 2 weeks and
see, I'll do it at it's like after I get home.
Group text though is not my jam either. I silence all of it.
Yeah. Just the vibrating or the pinging all day long gives me anxiety.
So what's your favorite platform then if you don't like a threader?
Like TikTok or Instagram
or
Facebook?
Do you like TikTok?
No, I like scrolling on TikTok. It's fun. I get so many good recipes off of TikTok, and I actually really like TikTok. I'm starting to like it better, but I kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
And so I'll be on Instagram and then I'll be like, "Ooh, I'm bored. I'm going to go over to TikTok." And then, so I try and post on TikTok. I try and just like use the same posts, remove the watermark, and post my reel to TikTok, but I'm not very good at doing that. So I'm trying to be better.
Like not good at actually posting
and actually doing it.
Or like actually doing it. So you just post it on Instagram and like peace.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Nice. That's my strategy.
You know what? Like a lot of times people get aggravated with TikTok, but I actually like TikTok because you can learn a lot of things from TikTok.
Yes.
And it's not just people dancing. Like if you can get your algorithm.
Dancing, I mean, I love watching
people act a fool.
And jump roping. Yeah.
What?
Oh my God. So much stuff pops up in mine. There is a girl, she has an Australian accent and she's like she like dance jump ropes.
Oh.
And it's actually really cool. She does it to good music. She's super in shape. Yeah. Mine's all like food and working out.
Mine's motivational. But I don't know.
Mine's a lot of women like with all the car crap that's happening.
What car crap?
Well, in California, like trafficking or people like putting stuff on your car, like don't get in your car if there's like a tissue in the door handle.
Shut up. What?
Yeah, because there's like crap on it that like is going to make you pass out and then they like steal you. That's my TikTok.
Because you clicked on one, huh? And then you spent too long on it, and now the algorithm is there.
Yes.
That is how that is formed.
I know. But then if I just don't click on it for a few days, it goes away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you got to go past it quick, or you have to hit the like irrelevant. Because I have one of my
I don't even know where that button
gal
is.
friends. I think it's the 3 dots. I'll have to show you after.
Okay.
But she won't even get on social media anymore because it's messed up her mental state so much because she went through the COVID thing, and then I want to think it was like maybe something with like scary shit with kids. Like, I know the world's bad. Yeah. We know that. I don't want to like go down the rabbit hole because when you go down the rabbit hole, then your algorithm
But when it's
changes.
popping up right in your face, how do you not click on like a little baby that's sick or you know what I mean? Like that's what I was getting that for a long time.
Literally do this in your mindset and say, I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
Because then it's just going to just like all of it.
Yeah.
The other day I had one, it was about a kid and I was like, damn it.
Yes.
I think I just screwed up.
I was crying last night. Watching one about a mom who's sick and was telling her kid how she's going to heaven. And I was like, stop, Megan, don't watch. Stop. I had to stop myself because I was crying already.
Is over. Thank you for listening and tuning in.
Sorry. Yeah. I know we got way off track.
No, it's okay. And I just wanted to say that TikTok isn't as bad as like people were saying.
No.
Okay.
I like it.
Question for you now is what was one of the biggest successes or the most excited you got in your business? Like maybe it was that one client that finally came through or you were like, holy shit, how is this my life? It doesn't even necessarily have to be a client. Was it just like an aha moment? Mm-hmm. Like what is something good?
Well, there's probably been a few throughout the years. But I would say definitely when I got into a department store, they reached out to me and I ended up being in 25 of their stores in the Midwest. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you like do a dance party? Were your husband and kids confused? What was going on? Like,
no, I just remember being like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Because I can always fulfill orders. Like I've done thousands of fulfillments. So that's not an issue, but learning about their packaging, their labeling, sending out orders to different like retail stores. Everybody has kind of a different process. So that was cool. That was probably like one of my bigger moments. And then just getting some big orders that, throughout the years that have made my year, a 1-month order that, just made my year.
And you were just like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Right after I got laid off, I got an order that was basically my salary. And I was like, oh, we're going to be good.
I was actually about to go into that as that a while ago you said your business coaches love working with you because you're not like a super Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, holy crap, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Because I lost that client or whatever. And now it's just God always opens up the next door for you or whatever's next for that big opportunity to just showcase and show you that you are going to be okay. You're going to make this.
Yeah.
And the fact that you literally did that before I was going to say that, that's exciting because when you leave corporate, it's very risky and it's very scary. I mean, you got laid off. Same difference is like, you're like, I have to provide. We're providing for our family. What do we do? And then when you're an entrepreneur, everyone knows that there's a lot of ups and downs. There's no I feel like I saw this recently, but I've always seen it as the chart always goes up and down, up and down, up and down. You're like going to be at your highest high and your lowest of lows.
Right.
And there's no way to get away from that as an entrepreneur.
No, you just have to kind of ride the wave, and some months are, really busy and some will be slow. And you have to, I just think, have the mindset that like, it's okay. It doesn't mean that things are going to go downhill. It's just a slower month or, whatever. Your clients are really busy or it's slower for them in their stores. But yeah, just kind of keeping that mindset that like, it's going to be fine. And I like to kind of run lean. I try and run as lean as possible. I've always kind of kept that, mentality of like, not I don't want to have so much inventory, but I want to have enough to fulfill orders. And the same with like production and employees and all that. So I've always been really financially conservative with that kind of stuff. So I think just always having that in mind, as a business owner and owning your own business and an entrepreneur, you're always thinking about that, because you have to make payroll. You've got to pay for your supplies or, whatever it is you're doing. So, yeah.
It's not only you're taking care of anymore. It's not just your family. Yeah. It's now your employees' families that you're taking care of as well.
Yes.
So you have to
rent or whatever. Yeah.
It's a whole slew of things. But I think too, it's just so fulfilling. Like I would, unless God forbid I had to do it, I probably would never go back to corporate just because I love the life. Like there's so many stresses and there's so many obstacles that you have to overcome. I mean, I've only been doing this for 2.5 years. So like, I feel like I've been doing it for 10, but there's just, if you don't develop the mindset that everything's going to work out, how it's going to work out. Right. And it took me a while to understand that. And there's still days I still struggle with that. Yeah. But if you can't get that mentality, then you're not going to make it. Because otherwise you're going to dwell on that negative and forget that you can do this. Yeah. Like you were meant to do what you're doing and just like keep going.
Yeah. And what's meant to be is meant to be. If one door closes, trust me, another one is going to open. Right. It might not be tomorrow. It might be a week. It might be a month, but it will happen. And, you're in charge of your own destiny, right? So keeping, staying positive, knowing that things are going to be okay, I think is something that I've always just tried to do is like, okay, what's going to be fine? We're just going to have to figure it out. Everything's figure outable.
Yeah. Everything right? You can figure it out.
Yeah. You can figure it out.
Yeah. And so I want to go back to one thing because a lot of times, like I've had this actual conversation twice in the last week. And it was, Shelby, I want to do XYZ, but, and this is such a cliche because like everybody says this, even like me, you literally just said it a while ago is nobody wants to hear my voice or see my face. Or like, I don't want to do this. But at what turning point did you realize like, okay, I need to put my big girl pants on and I have to do this for my business. So like, what is some advice to be like, yes, they do. There's someone out there that wants to hear from you.
I think you're your worst critic, right? When I do a reel, or something like that, I tape it, I edit it, and then I don't watch it again.
Thank you.
And then until after it's posted, just to see the views, Yeah. But I'm like, I will critique everything, like, oh my gosh, oh, I don't like I look like I'm so tired, or I need more of this or that, or like, oh, that's a horrible shirt, or, whatever. Yeah. I'll critique everything. I am my own worst critic. But like, who cares? Who cares? Then they can leave and like, whatever. I kind of had to get over that. And I still sometimes will be like, okay, I can't, like I see, I've got a double chin. I am not going to post that. Yeah. Or something. But I really try and just be like, whatever. Yeah.
The thing is too, I heard this recently, somebody was doing it, and look, to each their own. And like a lot of social media people or coaches or whatever, they can tell what they want or preach what they want or teach how they want. But sometimes it really makes me freaking cringe because I'm like, that's not accurate. And I heard someone, or not really accurate, but I heard someone say this the other day, they were like, You need to practice recording yourself and then just watch it over and over and over. And I'm like, that is actually the dumbest advice I've ever heard.
I would not do that.
Because you're never going to post it.
Yeah.
Because the only way that you get better is, yes, you watch it, but once you've actually taken the action to post it. So video it, post it, and then learn from that aspect.
Right.
Because what if like it makes you just look more normal and you're not just prim and proper and perfect the first time you post.
Right. Well, and I think too, it's all about your branding. My branding is like, hey, this is jewelry for everyone, not for like models, or it's for anybody who wants to wear it. Normal people like us, you know, moms, or, you know, whatever, teachers, nurses, doctors, whoever wants to wear it. You don't have to be, you know, like prim and proper or in a bikini on the beach. You know what I mean? All the time looking great. Like, this is real life.
Right.
We're real people.
Yes.
And so I think those videos, when you're not perfect, are actually better, at least in my head, because that's not my brand.
Right. And then the thing is too, is this, you have to think exactly what you just said. What is your brand and what are the people that you want to attract? So if there are people, if you attract the people that don't accept you for the messiness, the cursing, the whatever the case may be, then you don't want to work with those people anyway, because you're going to have to taper down who you are.
Yeah.
I get business is business, but in the same sense, you're going to get to a level of business where you get to choose who you work with. So in the beginning, you might not.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I talk to people about, especially about Instagram, that has changed. It used to be very aesthetically pleasing, grids. Like, nobody cares.
No.
They just want to get to know you.
Yeah.
But if you want an aesthetically pleasing grid, like my sister the other day, she just started hers. It's called Our Home in the Pasture. And so cute. They own a farm, whatever. Cool. And so she's doing more of the homestead stuff. Complete opposite. I'm not domestic at all. Like, truly, like, so different. And she like had this video and it like was really good to me. I was like, oh my God, that's so good. I said, Kelsey, but she's like, I want a certain way that the grid looks. And I said, okay, well, it's easy. All you have to do is put a cover photo. The grid will look aesthetically pleasing. The moment they click it, then it goes to you with a hair messy bun. You have 3 kids. You're trying to figure life out. Like, that's real. Yeah. So if you want the the aesthetically pleasing grid, then put a cover photo. Oh. Otherwise, let it fly and just do I want people to know I'm really good at my job and we know what we're doing, but we show up messy and we just get it done. Yeah. Because it's just. Right. If I actually procrastinated, I wouldn't even be having a podcast right now.
Oh my gosh, no. If I waited for everything to be perfect or critiqued everything, nothing would ever get done. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm glad you said that, because when that person said that on Instagram the other day, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You make my blood boil.
Yeah. See, I always thought, God, how do people make it look so pretty? It's really pretty, like a pretty grid, but like, that's just not me.
Or like I cook a dish. Okay, first off, I try to follow a recipe, but I need like a recipe. I need you need this exact salt. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Then don't find your recipes on TikTok.
Okay. I'm like totally kind of kidding, borderline, but sometimes I don't know how, when I try to follow, I'm really good at healthy cooking. Like, if you want a healthy meal, honey, I got you. But like home, what do they call that? Soothing soul food?
Soul food.
Whatever. Yeah. Your girl ain't got that. My husband is awesome at it. I tried. I'm like, how is this tasting? He's like, you're missing something.
Yeah.
But
if you're cheese and oil or something.
And it's never pretty. And I'm like, how do y'all get it so perfected? You're not appealing to me because I'm not going to ever buy from you.
Well, it's so curated. Yeah.
So I guess the main point of this is like, when you're thinking about your social and if you're going to show up, if you're not going to show up, whatever the case may be, you need to just figure out what your brand is. Because I remember your brand. You're like, I want you to feel good even if you have a messy bun, but you throw some jewelry on and no makeup and you still feel pretty. Yeah. And like, that's who you are.
Like filming a podcast after a red eye.
Because you love me so
barely
much.
Brushing my teeth and an hour's sleep.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. This is what friends are for.
That's when you say yes to everything. You're like, whatever.
She didn't figure it out. I truly was like, holy crap. How she texted me this morning, y'all, literally at what? I think 7. You're like 7:30. I finally got here.
Yeah.
You go, I'm going to take a nap.
I finally got in my room at 7:30.
Room.
I landed at 5:45 Louisiana time, which is
like 2 your time.
2:45.
3
yeah,
time?
Something like
We're
that.
like 2 hours apart, I think.
Oh, 2? Is that it?
I think. Oh, maybe 3. I don't know where.
What are you? Eastern Standard Time?
Central.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 2.
Okay, so anyway, she texted me and I was like, oh crap, I thought she got in last night. No, the night. Wait, I'm just confused. Anyway, I was like, we can cancel if you want. She's like, no, I'm gonna sleep for like a minute. I'll be ready for 9. And I picked her up and she was like curb waiting on me in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up this episode, wow, that went by quick. One question for you.
Okay.
And I try to ask everyone this because I just find it's a really good question, but some people shock me because they don't really go deep, or you can do whatever you want. If you could go back and tell little girl Meghan one thing in life, it doesn't have to be about business, kids, married, nothing, like one thing, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that, one thing, and I tell my kids this because I was never told this. No shame against my parents. They're wonderful parents. They did a great job, I think. But I was never told really, that you could do something that you want to do, I guess, like for work. So when I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut. Probably not something that I could have ever accomplished. I wasn't very good at science, but like that's what I wanted to do, right? But it was never kind of led in that direction. I never knew that you could really have a job or like do something that you're passionate about and it would be like your life, your life's work, right? I think things are changing and the way of parenting is changing and the way, just life is so different now than when we were raised. So I tell my boys this all the time, like, listen, you could do whatever you want. You love computers or you love cars, go design cars. Like I tell my oldest son this all the time. I'm like, you love both of those things. Do it. You can do it. Don't just work to work. I mean, yeah, maybe in the beginning, get some experience, but like if you have a passion about something, you can do it.
Yes.
You got to try. Dreams. Yeah, exactly. Well, so awesome. That's what I would tell myself. And that's what I tell my kids. And, just be happy, happy, live a happy life. And, I keep that in mind to be fulfilled, I think too. Because I always think every day, am I doing everything that I can do to live a happy life? So
that's a great answer. I always say that you get one life. So if you're not happy, then you need to figure out what's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
And go for it. Because you're right. It's literally like it is a new world. And I see a lot more people saying like, do what you want to do. There's avenues now to make money doing what you love.
Yeah.
And so
especially with social media and like all that. I mean, people can make stuff happen so much easier than they used to be able to, right? I mean, that's one good thing about social media is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people chase your damn dreams.
Yeah.
If you want to do something bad enough, you can do it.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Okay, we're going to take her out on the town, aka it's a Sunday in Covington, but we're going to take her out.
At 10:30 in the morning.
It is? Wait, is it?
It's 11:20.
We're great. Oh, thank you so much. She flew in
so
just for this. Oh my God.
I know. So fun.
I love this friendship.
Me too.
I'm telling you guys, social media is where it's at. I would have never known who you were or met you or anything.
And I wouldn't have either. Podcast.
Nothing. Podcast, social media, chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Thank you so much. And until next time, let's freaking get it.
Yes. Woo!